Seekers of greatness, dreamers of the impossible, and action takers on the path to success. I'm Daniel Craig Johnson, and I'm amped to be your personal guide on this exhilarating journey to self-discovery, business mastery, and life transformation. Strap in because you're about to blast through barriers, obliterate limitations, and sculpt the life you've dreamt of. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Success Blueprint, the podcast that provides you with the tools and strategies to excel in both your personal and professional life. I'm your host, Daniel Craig Johnson, and today we have a very special topic to discuss, and it comes from one of my podcast followers and also one of my clients, Ian Filio Ludick. He is the owner of Best Web Design, and he has given me 4 topics, and one of them was mastering the entrepreneurial mindset. So today is part 1 of a 2-part episode where I want to address what it means to master the entrepreneurial mindset from my perspective and from the perspective of people that I engaged with that are also entrepreneurs and people that I met over my entrepreneurial career over the years. So in this episode, we will dive deep into the mindset that separates successful entrepreneurs from the rest. So let's get a small little introduction to the entrepreneurial mindset. So what exactly is that? The entrepreneurial mindset is a unique way of thinking that sets successful entrepreneurs apart. And it's characterized by several key traits. 1, vision. Successful entrepreneurs have a clear vision of what they want to achieve. This vision guides their actions and decisions, helping them stay focused on their long-term goals. Vision is everything. If you can visualize it, then you know where you're going. You need to be very clear about the vision. What do you want to achieve? Why do you want to open or run a business? What is that idea that you're trying to manifest into reality? Vision is one of the key aspects of an entrepreneurial mindset. If you do not have vision, and there's many people that lack vision, they rather work for someone else that makes the vision for them. So I can tell you, vision is definitely one of the key factors for a successful entrepreneur. The second point is resilience. Entrepreneurs face numerous challenges, setbacks and failures during the time they try to build businesses or trying to get businesses off the ground. What sets them apart is their ability to bounce back from these difficulties, learn from them, and keep moving forward. If you do not foster resilience, or you have a lack of resilience, you will not be successful as an entrepreneur. To deal with setbacks, know from clients, incidents that happens in your operations or in your small business, lack of cash flow, your idea is not working out, you've spent your savings and it's not taking off in the time that you subjected. All of this requires tremendous resilience. If you have resilience, you are much more likely to succeed as an entrepreneur. Without resilience, it's an undertaking that will be daunting, horrifying, and most probably lead you back to being employed. Creativity. Entrepreneurs are often tasked with finding innovative solutions to problems. They have a knack for thinking outside the box and finding new opportunities where others might see only obstacles. That's another trait of a successful entrepreneur. And yes, we find these traits in people that are employed as well. But if we go up the ladder, where you go into the leadership level, C-suite, very often you find that top managing leaders or top leaders in organizations, they have an entrepreneurial mindset. They have vision, they have resilience, they are very creative. Another one of those skills is adaptability. The business landscape is constantly changing. Entrepreneurs embrace change and are willing to pivot their strategies when necessary to stay competitive. Adaptability is a key success factor again in entrepreneurship because things change all the time. If we're in an organization, sometimes there can be patterns, there can be ups and downs. It is a bit more linear and it is a bit more controllable because there is much more force at work in terms of keeping everything in check. But as entrepreneur, you can go through the waves and there can be a lot of adaptability required to adapt to all the circumstances, adverse circumstances, under the premise that you are not earning a salary. You can't just balance that. There's no big cash flow. There's no big budget that is available to even countersteer certain problematics or mitigate certain risks. You are on your own. So you have to be extremely adaptable. But this is also, again, a skill that you will find very often in high-level leaders, C-suite, where they are just more entrepreneurial. That's very important, and you find that very often in the top brass of an organization. Another skill that is really important, risk-taking. Successful entrepreneurs take calculated risks. They understand that growth often requires stepping out of their comfort zone and are willing to do so when the potential rewards outweigh the risk. Again, something that you find in top-level management, risk-taking. Much more calculated, very often underpinned by extreme research by different departments, different managers, a lot of bouncing ideas back and forth, industry analysis, data analysis. There's a lot that goes in before those risks are taken. And sometimes that machinery can be a bit slower. If you're an entrepreneur, very often you have to take those risks very quickly because the opportunity arises and might be gone if you don't go for it. But that doesn't mean that you cannot be risk calculated in your decision making. But why is mindset so important in achieving business success? Your mindset shapes your actions, and your actions shape your results. Having the right entrepreneurial mindset can help you overcome the inevitable changes and obstacles that come your way on your entrepreneurial journey. That is very important. So these skills are key factors that decide over whether you're going to be successful as an entrepreneur or not. The next is developing a growth mindset. This mindset shift is about understanding the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that abilities and intelligence are static. People with a fixed mindset tend to avoid challenges, give up easily when faced with obstacles, see effort as fruitless, ignore useful feedback, and feel threatened by the success of others. On the other hand, a growth mindset believes that talents and abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Individuals with a growth mindset embrace challenges, persevere through difficulties, see effort as path to mastery, learn from criticism, and find inspiration in the success of others. There's two fundamental differences in these two mindsets, and they can be detrimental to your organization as well if you run a company, if you have them in the wrong weight, in the wrong areas. So it's always important to have a good mix. Sometimes you will find that those people with a fixed mindset, they fit into certain roles and might be doing well there, but you have to make sure that generally you are dealing with people with a growth mindset. And particularly when you are an entrepreneur yourself, you have to learn to overcome the fixed mindset and think from a point of a growth mindset all the time. So how can you cultivate a growth mindset? Well, it starts with self-belief. Believing in yourself and your ability to learn and adapt is the first step. So here are some strategies to develop and maintain a growth mindset. Seek learning opportunities. Actively seek out opportunities to learn and acquire new skills. This could involve taking courses, reading books, or attending workshops. Soft skills, and soft skills again. Always seek continuous learning opportunities. Seek feedback from others. Don't shy away from feedback, whether it's positive or constructive. Use it as a tool for improvement. Feedback is very important. Have a trusted critique in your life, have an accountability buddy, and have someone that is honest with you and gives you the feedback that you require to grow and to build your vision. Stay open to new experiences. Be willing to step out of your comfort zone and embrace new experiences, even if they involve some level of uncertainty. Uncertainty is something that you will deal with to a much huger extent than someone that is employed. Uncertainty, yes, in organizations, but again, it's more linear as opposed to exponential uncertainty when you are an entrepreneur. Embrace failure. Understand that failure is part of the journey to success. Instead of fearing it, view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Every single time you find yourself in trouble or you have problems, you say, oh boy, it's time to grow. Another important point in that journey is goal setting and visualization. Setting goals is a cornerstone of entrepreneurial success. Goals give you direction and purpose, and they have to be concise. They have to be driven. They have to be self-motivated. There's no one else pushing you when you're an entrepreneur. You have to be on top of your own game. So let's talk a bit about the power of setting goals. We had that in previous episodes in entrepreneurship, particularly today. Goals serve as a roadmap for your entrepreneurial journey. They provide clarity about what you want to achieve and when you want to achieve it. However, not all goals are created equal. To ensure your goals are effective, consider making them smart. And we've discussed this many times before, and you should have that word in your head. It must be engraved there. It must be something that is consistently projected in front of your inner eye. It is specific, meaning that your goal should be clear and well defined. It needs to be measurable. You should be able to track your progress and know when you've achieved your goal. Anything that is not measurable will not lead to success. It needs to be achievable. Your goal should be challenging but attainable. Relevant, it should align with your long-term vision and mission, and time-bound, which is super important. Set a deadline for when you want to accomplish the goal. But setting goals alone isn't enough. Visualization techniques can be incredibly powerful in manifesting your goals. Visualization is a process where you mentally rehearse achieving your goals. It helps to create vision boards. Sounds cliche, but a vision board can be powerful. Compile images, words, and symbols that represent your goals and display them where you can see them regularly. That can just keep you going. Looking at that end goal or that place where you want to be can help you every day to motivate yourself and take concise action and be more accountable for the goals that you set. Almost like an accountability buddy. It can help keep you on track, and it usually does. Use positive affirmations. Repeatedly affirm to yourself that you are capable of achieving your goals. This reinforces your self-belief and keeps you motivated. Positive affirmations are super powerful. You should use that all the time. Visualization and goal setting go hand in hand. By vividly imagining your success, you can increase your motivation and focus on the actions needed to achieve your goals. Overcoming fear and taking calculated risks. Fear holds us back all the time. Fear of change, fear of challenge, fear of conflict, fear of confrontation. It is important that we stay strong in the face of adversity and that we overcome the fear, that we believe in ourselves, and that we really often take calculated risks, knowing what we are doing based on facts, research, input, and feedback. The fear of failure can be paralyzing, but successful entrepreneurs have a knack for identifying and overcoming it. In this segment, I want to discuss with you strategies to help you conquer this fear and take calculated risks that leads to growth and innovation. So first, let's talk about identifying and overcoming the fear of failure. This fear often stems from a fear of the unknown or a fear of what others will think. So to address that, what do? Acknowledge your fear. Never suppress it. Let it come out. Like in life, it is important not to suppress, but to experience the full range of emotions. Recognize that the fear is natural. It's a natural emotion. It's part of who we are. It's how you respond to it that really matters. Then try to shift your perspective. See failure as a stepping stone to success. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. And then visualize your success. Use the visualization techniques to imagine yourself succeeding despite the fear. And this will help reduce its power over you. Do that consistently and you will overcome that fear. Next, let's explore what it means to embrace calculated risk. Taking risks is an inherent part of entrepreneurship. Trust me, I've experienced this all along the way, and I've been by myself for a very long time. But it doesn't mean being reckless. It means making informed decisions where the potential rewards outweigh the risks. So to manage risks effectively, look at it like that. Assess your risk, identify potential risks, and evaluate their likelihood and the impact. Once you have that done, you can plan and strategize. Develop contingency plans for dealing with potential setbacks. Learn from your failure. When risks don't pan out as expected, view it as an opportunity to gather valuable data and adjust your approach. That's why you consistently approach your risk management profile. Stay informed. Continuously gather information and stay up to date with industry trends to make informed decisions. Data, data, data. If it's not measurable, if you have no data for it, you are fishing in the dark. That's the whole point of risk management. Most businesses run a risk management approach. It's literally barely that you see any company or organization that doesn't either have like a huge risk management system in place or at least operates on a risk management approach. And even when we are small companies and we do everything ourselves, there's certain things that come with the experience that we then have that make us risk conscious. So following these principles will help you to mitigate risks and make more informed decisions. One of the major points that I want to emphasize, super important, building resilience and persistence. Resilience is a superpower in entrepreneurship. It's the ability to bounce back from setbacks and challenges. I always call it resilience is the ability to bounce back, to bounce with, and to bounce forward. In this segment, I want to explore with you quickly the importance of resilience and strategies to help you cultivate it. So first, let's talk about the importance of resilience. Entrepreneurship is a roller coaster ride with its fair share of ups and downs. Trust me, it is like going to Gold Reef City and getting onto the first ride. Resilience is what keeps you going when things get tough. It helps you stay focused. Resilience keeps your eyes on your goals even in the face of adversity. It helps you to adapt to changing circumstances and pivot when necessary. It helps you to overcome fear. Resilience helps you confront and conquer fear and self-doubt. So how can you cultivate resilience? Well, a couple of steps. Develop a support system. Surround yourself with mentors, peers, and a network of individuals who can provide guidance and support during challenging times. It is important to have the right people around you. Not necessary as a team yet, not necessary people that you have to pay for, but a proper support system, people that had similar journeys, that are embarking on similar journeys. You can find them with networking events, you can find them on social media. There's easy ways to connect to like-minded people. Practice self-care. Taking care of your physical and mental well-being is crucial as an entrepreneur. This includes getting enough rest, exercising, and managing stress. Prioritizing, premeditating your day, understanding what's coming for you, and learn to cope with adversity. That is what it's all about, and that is what is going to set you apart from others. Learn from setbacks. Instead of dwelling on failures, analyze what went wrong and use that knowledge to improve your approach. Maintain a positive mindset. Focus on the progress you've made and stay optimistic about the future. Even if you fail, whenever you fail, there's something that you are learning. Recognize it from a point where you are thinking with a growth mindset. Every setback is an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to make things right and to be better and to learn. It's self-development. So resilience will help you to do that. Resilience will help you to be on top of these things, manage your emotions, and will help you be more concise in the action that you take when faced with adversity. Stay persistent. Without persistency and perseverance, it's not going to work. Persistence is closely linked to resilience. Even when faced with obstacles, you have to keep pushing forward. There's nothing more important than always keeping your eyes forward, maintain clarity, maintain focus for where you are going, and then you are unstoppable. So that's it for today on the Success Blueprint. This was part 1 of mastering the entrepreneurial mindset. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there was something in there to learn for you. We're going to have the second part on sometime during the week, next week, or latest on Friday, which will be strategies for entrepreneurial success. And remember, success begins with the right mindset. And by incorporating the tips and strategies we've covered today, you'll be well on your way to achieving your entrepreneurial goals. So don't forget to join us on the next episode. Check on my podcast channel. Thanks to Ian Ludick for the input and highlighting this as an area of interest. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you again for sharing the podcast and sharing the love. We have managed to secure 1,000 downloads, more than that in 1 week, which is incredible. And that is all to you and your support. I'm really grateful for your time that you spent on the Success Blueprint. Please come back in numbers so that we can push this thing global, make it big. And I want you to be part of the journey. I'm really excited for this. Thank you guys. You must have a fantastic weekend. That's Daniel. Take care.